Hi guys, Paul Pluta channel, doing a paid review. And before I start this paid review, a quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing a Tudor Black Bay Burgundy. I love my Burgundy Tudors. Absolutely stunning. Let's do a paid review here. Here we go. Archie, 30-year-old fan here. Have been watching for the last 4 years. I was born in Coopers Plains, I think near you. My family moved back to the UK when I was 2 years old. I hold dual nationality. I live in Thailand, work in the oil industry in Ghana. Okay. I have approximately £5,000, $6,500 US for a purchase. I urgently require guidance from the Pontiff's Pontiff. I don't want to mistakenly buy any shitter or make an ill-informed decision. I'll have to probably go retail as I don't want to buy pre-owned pieces in bangers. I understand. I'm also reluctant to import anything of high value, especially Rolexes. Yes, the ties can be a little bit shifty there. I can tell you that. The Thai postal system, be very careful. Question. What do I go for? Number 1, pick up a Rolex Datejust 116200 oyster bracelet 36mm silver dial at duty free in Dubai on my way home from work. Number 2, buy an Omega Speedmaster Professional non-display back Halcyon glass, of course, or wait a little longer until I go back to the UK and pick up a pre-owned Rolex Explorer 1 114270 with the solid end links. I imagined you're inundated with requests, so I've phoned you a little bit extra. I've said £50, approximately $87 Australian, hoping you will respond as soon as possible. I love the show, Archie. Keep up the good work. Best regards, Neil. Neil, it's an honor to have your question come in here. I think it's really good to get a nice wristwatch for yourself. Let me tell you this: if I was buying if you're going to buy new, there are better deals to be had with certain models. If you're going to buy a Rolex Datejust, you've got to get Datejust 41. Okay, Datejust 41, because it is, I think, the perfect size. The 36mm, they are a nice watch, but they're a little bit small in a modern context. After the 36mm, Rolex released Datejust 2, which was 41mm, but it was kind of fat. It was kind of like just the lugs. It's a bit like my Tudor I'm wearing. They were big and pronounced. They were a little bit too fat. It made the watch appear a little bit bigger than it really was. So they slimmed that down a bit, and they released Rolex Datejust 41. Okay, so that's kind of the replacement model. So you can't really get a second-hand example because they've only been out for a short time. Well, you can get them second-hand, but it's probably not a lot of money. I would definitely haggle, get a good deal. The 116200, that's be the smooth bezel with the you can get that in a Datejust 41 smooth bezel with a oyster bracelet. Yes, I think that would be quite nice. I would say if I was going for the dials, go for either a white or a blue dial. That's where I reckon you could go. Duty free, yes. Now, I would say to you, honestly, pick up the telephone, the dog and bone. Telephone calls, international phone calls are now very, very cheap. I would ring the store in Dubai, ring them up. They don't know if you're ringing from Thailand or where the fuck you're ringing from. I would ring them up and say, how much is a Datejust 41? Do your homework. I would also ring the duty-free store at London. I would also ring the duty-free store in Bangkok, see what deals you can get. It is all money. You want to get the best deal you can. Without being an absolute shitter, you want to get the best deal you can. That's what I would be doing. Obviously, I would say to you, instead of getting a Datejust 41, you'd look at sports. Rolex Explorer 1, I'd look at the 39mm. That's the 214270. No Date Sub, Milgausers, I would look at those. I think those Steel Sports generally are a better holder of value than a Datejust. But if you buy a Datejust 41, it's not terminal because that model is the most desired model, and it's also it's fairly new in the marketplace. So I think it's a great watch. Your second choice, an Omega Speedmaster Professional. Look, I love the Omega Speedmaster Professional. You betcha, I have got one. I've got one. I have an Omega Speedmaster itself. You should be able to get these. Are selling from Joma Shop for about $3,500 US. So when you are negotiating, tell them I can get it Joma Shop, 3.5 US. See what you can negotiate as a deal. Again, ring duty free, Dubai, London, and Bangkok. See what you can weasel there. I personally think the Speedmaster, it's a great watch, but it's a bit delicate. I think you're better off as your first watch to get a waterproof watch. The Rolex is a waterproof. The Speedmaster being a chronograph, and it's not a waterproof. It's water resistant, yes it is, but it's not fully waterproof. So it's kind of this is a great second watch. I used to say this was the first watch you should get just on the pure price point. But now I would say no, hold out for the Rolex. You're in the fucking oil industry, for fuck's sake. Come on. You're in the fucking oil industry. You're an oilie. You can afford a Rolex. The third choice, I don't know why you'd want to get the 36mm Explorer 1. Why don't you get the fucking 39mm? That is the sweet spot. I reckon that is a fantastic size, fantastic model. It doesn't matter which hands they've got. They've got the smaller hands or the bigger hands. They have, but that doesn't really matter. They're all pretty good. They're a great watch. My best advice to you would be get first watch. Get a Rolex. Every man needs a Rolex. If ever you were in trouble, if anything goes wrong, you can just hand them your Rolex and get a ticket out of Dodge. It's simple as that. Rolex really is like international currency. I got a good fan of mine. He's a fan. He gives his sons, whenever they turn, he's got a couple, he's got about 3 sons, and he's got a daughter as well. He gives them a Rolex on their 21st birthday, and he says, this will get you an air ticket home. No matter where you are in the world, if things have gone to shit and you need to get home, your Rolex, you should be able to sell your Rolex to a pawn shop. Well, actually, maybe not a pawn shop. They're real fuckers. But a watch dealer, and you should be able to get a ticket out of Dodge. So I've got to tell you, in all honesty, I kind of thought, oh, gee, that's a bit of a silly thing. But I got to be honest with you. A Rolex, I wouldn't leave home without. You got to have one Rolex. Every man needs a Rolex. That's an international. It doesn't matter where in the world I am. If I got to get home fast. I could cash that in and get an airplane ticket to get out of Dodge. It's your instant ticket out of trouble. And I got to be honest with you. You never know what could happen. So my honest advice is, if you are in a position where you can afford a Rolex, get a Rolex, man. Get a Rolex. I'm not saying you have every watch you buy is Rolex, Rolex, Rolex. I mean, that's a bit boring. I'm not advocating that at all. All I'm saying is every man needs a Rolex wristwatch. You will love it, man. I'm telling you now, Neil. It's money well spent. If ever you're in trouble, you instant fix. It's an instant get out of jail card. Believe you me. It fucking does work. So Rolex is so powerful. I would grab it by the balls. Grab a Rolex, and preferably, I got to be completely frank with you. I think the 41mm is actually a fantastic watch. I really do like it. I think the size is perfect. I think the Datejust is a bit of an unsung hero, especially in the 41. Get it with a white dial or a blue dial. I also like it with the white gold bezel. The white gold bezel version, I actually am a very big fan of. Rolex. Get a Rolex, man. It's your get out of jail card. So, yeah, that's what I'd say. You can get a ticket anywhere in the world, no matter where you are, how bad it is. It should get you home. So, go Rolex, Neil. Go Rolex. Go hard. Go strong. Don't be afraid to pick up the dog and the bone. The dog and the bone, the phone. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and ring. Ring and say, hey, I want to buy a watch. What is the best price? Find out what these tricky fuckers are like. That's what I would do. Don't be afraid. Pick up the dog and bone. Pick up the phone, Neil. Pick up the phone and make a few calls. So that's my advice for Neil. Tell me what you fuckers think. Come on, guys. Put some nasty comments below. But I gotta tell you, Rolex, Neil, get a fucking Rolex. I'm Paul Pluto. This is the Paul Pluto channel. Tell me what you fuckaroonies think of that. Guys, it's really dishonest to jump into bed with garbage. It's really dishonest. It's really dishonest. I mean, I've been approached hundreds of times by shitter brands. I said no. I said no. No shitters. No shitters. So just remember that when you're picking your YouTube gurus, don't always go for the one who everything's wonderful, everything's great, because it ain't the case. It ain't all fucking wonderful.
I'm only signing it because it costs nothing. So this is the congratulations to everybody.
Oh, and don't forget, fuckaroonies, like, subscribe, and tell your fuckhead friends. And don't forget to mention the Archie Luxury Travel channel. That's where I'm doing live shows, fuckers.